Exactly 50 years ago, a National Geographic team set out to make a documentary film on an island where no one had ever returned alive. As they neared the shore, strange people emerged from the island's jungle and unleashed a rain of arrows on the National Geographic ship. In this attack, the director's leg was injured, and the team was forced to retreat hastily. What is this island, and why, despite all the advanced technology, humans still cannot venture here? About 1,400 kilometers east of India lies an island in the Andaman region, which is part of Indian territory. Several small and large villages exist here, and if we look closely, the city with the largest population on the Andaman Islands is Port Blair, where an airport also connects the island to the rest of the world. Planes from around the globe land here every day, but what is surprising is that just 50 kilometers away from this densely populated city lies an island where a civilization lives, cut off from the rest of the world. This island, known as Orth Sentinel Island, spans only 50 kilometers and is completely covered by trees, making it impossible for satellites or cameras to see inside. What tribe lives on this island, and what secrets are hidden here that no one has been able to uncover to this day? Throughout history, many attempts have been made to visit the island, but the tribe doesn't tolerate any outsiders. They become enraged, showering arrows, and taking lives seems to hold no meaning for them. It is believed they have built their own world within the island, living there for thousands of years. The people of Port Blair, just 50 kilometers away, live in a modern era, but on Orth Sentinel Island, it seems like the Stone Age is still in progress. To understand why these people don't want to connect with the outside world, we must look into the history of Orth Sentinel Island. For centuries, it has been believed that the tribe living here is part of a human civilization that diverged from the rest of us ages ago. About 26,000 years ago, the sea level was much lower, and this island was not isolated but part of the Asian continent. Due to global warming, the sea level gradually rose, cutting off Andaman and Sentinel Islands from the rest of the world, turning them into isolated islands. After that, the world kept progressing, but for the people living on these islands, this was their world. We only learned about their world when, in 1789, a British ship arrived at the island. However, they didn't visit Orth Sentinel Island, perhaps because it was a small island with no strategic value. Then, 78 years later, during British rule in India, a ship from India heading toward the islands broke down near Orth Sentinel Island. On board were 106 British and Indian individuals. They thought the island was uninhabited, but their assumption was soon shattered. While waiting for rescue, they decided to spend a few days there. On the third day, the hidden tribe attacked them with arrows. Many people were killed, while others were rescued by the Royal Navy. This was the first contact the world had with Orth Sentinel Island, ending in bloodshed. For the next 13 years, no one dared to return. Then a British lord named Maurice Vidal Portman was sent as the Crown Administrator of the islands. He decided to visit Orth Sentinel Island because he wanted to survey the entire area under his jurisdiction. His plan was to kidnap a few members of the tribe, bring them to the mainland, treat them well, and then send them back with good intentions. He hoped this would establish a positive connection with the lost tribe and make them realize they were just like the rest of us. Portman visited Orth Sentinel Island and managed to evade the tribe for several days. He eventually spotted a family consisting of a couple and their 4 children. Portman kidnapped the family and took them off the island. For the first time in history, Orth Sentinel Island's tribe made contact with the outside world. However, the older couple soon fell ill and died due to diseases their bodies had never encountered before. Portman felt deeply regretful, as his plan seemed to be failing. He gave gifts to the children and sent them back to the island. Portman wrote in his diary that their mission had failed, saying, "We have instilled even more fear in the hearts of the Sentinels. It would be best to leave them alone." He speculated that the children might have spread the virus to the rest of the tribe, potentially causing more deaths, and that the tribe might now hold them responsible for their parents' deaths. From that day onward, the tribe's hostility toward the outside world only grew. If anyone mistakenly landed on the island, the tribe would kill them and hang their bodies on the shore, signaling to others, "Do not come near us." After India gained independence, the Andaman Islands, including North Sentinel Island, became part of India. The people living on these islands, including the tribe on North Sentinel Island, were now considered Indian citizens, although the tribe had no concept of India. The Indian government decided to establish peaceful contact with the angry tribe. An Indian anthropologist, Triloknath Pandit, took on this task. He would circle the island in a boat, dropping gifts in the water, hoping to win the tribe's trust. During this time, National Geographic wanted to make a documentary on the island, titled Man in Search of Man. Their team, including security guards, filmmakers, and Pandit, was aboard a large boat. They believed they could get closer to the island and leave gifts on the shore, which would float to the tribe. Their plan was to first win the tribe's trust and then proceed with filming. For 3 days, they dropped gifts, but when they moved closer to the shore, their plan went terribly wrong. The tribe's warriors broke all the gifts in front of them and unleashed a rain of arrows, one of which struck the director's leg. The National Geographic team had no choice but to cancel the shoot and retreat. Although they managed to capture some footage from afar, this became the first and last footage of North Sentinel Island. Pandit continued to visit the island, leaving gifts and retreating from a distance. After many years, he finally succeeded in making contact with the tribe and even took photographs of them accepting gifts. This friendship lasted for several years. However, trouble arose when a ship registered in Panama, with 30 people on board, became stranded near the island. The crew waited for rescue, but after several days, they noticed more than 50 people emerging from the island and throwing arrows at them. The company managed to arrange an emergency evacuation, and the crew was airlifted to safety. The shipwreck remains on the shore of North Sentinel Island and can still be seen on Google Earth. One thing is clear: the only person the tribe has shown any mercy to is Triloknath Pandit, and perhaps his junior, Madhubala. But when Pandit retired, the Indian government banned all future visits to North Sentinel Island and sealed it off. Since then, the Indian Navy has been patrolling the waters around the island, and no one is allowed to come within 10 kilometers of it. However, the story doesn't end there. In 2006, 2 fishermen accidentally ventured into the island's waters. Nearby fishermen watched as members of the tribe killed the 2 men and hung their bodies on the shore. For 12 years, no one dared to approach North Sentinel Island. But in 2018, a 26-year-old American man named John Allen decided to sneak onto the island. He bribed fishermen to take him there. His mission was to spread the Christian religion to the tribe. Unfortunately, John also met the same fate as others before him. Today, countless bodies may lie on North Sentinel Island, and they cannot be retrieved. The Indian government has granted the tribe complete freedom to do as they wish on their island and has prohibited anyone from coming within 10 kilometers of it. North Sentinel Island is perhaps the only place in the world where venturing means certain death. Do these people want to remain isolated, or are they hiding some great secret on the island? This remains a mystery to this day.